snap, and Joel gets his number called again. Oh, nice little move to the outside, throws the shoulder into 15, and that is the kind of...
Welcome to Heard It Here First, your Central Texas showcase of premier talent. Today we're going to take you to 2A ball in Texas, where the players are always going both ways. The stands are filled, and the rivalries are intense. And this week, we're going to do Game of the Week with the Granger Lions versus the Milano Eagles. The Granger Lions are led by head coach Gaston McDormand. They're currently 2-2 on the season, but 1-0 in district with a key win over Bartlett this past weekend, 43-23. Gaston McDormand in his first season comes from Cuero. Cuero, as everyone who knows Texas football, is a renowned program that just continues to put out not only great players, NFL talent, collegiate talent, and win state championships. They're just a great program, man. And lucky enough for Granger, them being a very successful program, when two powerful worlds collide, you get a great team. And they're led by quarterback Wyatt Rockner. The 6-foot quarterback is a dang good quarterback. And in his first year, they were looking for a quarterback to step up, and that's who did it, was Wyatt Rockner. Caleb Hallbroch is a 6-foot, 190-pound running back that runs a 4.6 and 2A football, man. That's outrageous. The dude is big. He had 21 carries for 142 yards and 3 touchdowns against Bartlett. Rockner and Jet Jolly, the tight end, connected for a touchdown pass. And Nicholas Blaine, he is a freshman that Marcus Martinez Jr. Is a young man that I got to meet this past weekend that I know his dad for a very long time, and I had the privilege of meeting Marcus, and he was bragging about Nicholas Blaine, who already had all these interceptions as just a freshman. So it's crazy how Granger could just get the next man up, and when they step up, they pick really good. They have talent for days. But Marcus Martinez is the 5'10", 285-pound defensive tackle. Granger's got big dudes over there, man. He had a sack and a tackle for a loss. As you'll see right here, he can get pressure on that quarterback, and he's an aggressive ball player. And then when you meet him in person, he's one of the nicest gentlemen you could ever meet. So it's one of those deals, like whenever he's on the field, he's a different dude, it was a privilege to get to meet him, but also the details he gives us about the Granger Lions, the football program, and what Gaston McDormand is putting in place there. So without further ado, we're going to give you Marcus Martinez Jr., starting defensive lineman for the Granger Lions, as he lets us in about Granger football and what to expect for the rest of the season. Great. Marcus Martinez, a 4-year letterman here at Granger. We were talking previously. You said your sophomore, junior, and senior year, really your junior, senior year, you've really been playing both ways. Tell us how you condition to stay in shape to play in this 2A ball. Everybody's got, not everyone, but there's a lot of 2A players. How do you condition to stay in shape for that?
Yes, sir. Well, like this year, with the new coach coming in, Coach McDormand, he wants that tempo offense. So, like during offensive practice, we're constantly moving. And then on defensive practice as well, they want us pursuing the ball wherever the ball's going. And don't get me wrong, we do a little conditioning here and there. But they want mainly to have the conditioning during practice-wise.
Absolutely. That's what I always try to tell kids, players, athletes, the kids I've coached, is if you're jogging in between plays, if you're hustling in between plays, anytime you touch that grass, green means go.
Oh, yeah.
And you got to go when you get on the field. So if you're doing that in between plays and you're doing that all the time, you are conditioned.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's awesome, man. You said Coach McDormand, this is his first year. He came from a really good school in Cuero. Yeah. And y'all have a winning mentality. Y'all have had a winning program for years. So I don't think y'all really skip a beat. How has he brought in, what has he done as y'all are making this transfer into Coach McDormand era, and how is he keeping that winning attitude here?
Well, I think it's just the way he brought it from his Cuero years and coming to Granger. He just wants that winning mentality, and I think the kids here, they also see that. So, we've been having a winning program for the past couple of years. And, so, we've just always had that winning mentality, and we're just hungry.
Yeah, it's crazy because I was looking at the past seasons, and I think from 2018 till now, there was one season that it was a 9-win season.
Yes, sir.
That was the only not double-digit win season. And I'm like, holy crap, man! Like these dudes are kicking butt out here.
Yes,
so it's been a pleasure getting to interview you. Let's talk about your offense. Give me an idea about your quarterback and your running back. I know it's
Hobroch.
Hobroch?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and what was your quarterback's name?
Wyatt Rockner.
Yeah, Rockner. I saw he had a dang good game against Moody, right? Was
Holland.
it Moody? Holland.
Yes, sir.
Holland, and then your running back was sacrificing his body, diving into the end zone.
Oh, yeah.
So y'all got some touchdown-hungry players. Talk to me about those guys.
Yes, sir. Wyatt Rockner, he's a solid quarterback, real good quarterback. He didn't really play as much last year since we had already a quarterback that we had, but coming in this year, he was hungry. He wanted to play. He really brings up the team. He's a very positive kid, and I really like having him as my quarterback, pretty much. And then Caleb Hobroch, he's a dog.
Yeah,
he's a dog, and
you can tell.
Oh yeah, he likes to sacrifice his body for anything. You want a first down, he'll give you a first down, and like you said, that diving touchdown he had last week, it was
laying it out on the line, man.
He just threw his body out there, and I like him as well as a teammate. He's a really good, hard fighting teammate, and can't ask no one better than that running back right there.
You had spoke about there was a quarterback here last year. Y'all had a lot of seniors here last year that kind of led this team.
Yes, sir.
And graduating so many, it raised eyebrows, even for me. I was like, man, how is Granger going to do this? And like I said, I viewed y'all, and I followed y'all through the season, and was kind of studying y'all before the season. I didn't know y'all went and got the new head coach. And so, it's crazy how Granger can continue to do it even after a great head coach promoted to principal. Y'all just go and grab another coach, and y'all are still doing that. How have y'all's underclassmen and the guys that like your running back and quarterback, how have they stepped up and filled that role with so many seniors graduating? And who are some of those names?
Well, I think they knew coming in like last year, they were like, these guys are leaving, so I mean, like there's going to be some new people stepping up.
Right.
And I think our coaches, they know what they're doing, and I think they put them at the best possible spot that they can be.
Yeah.
And like Nicholas Blaine, freshman, he came up and he's doing pretty well. 4 interceptions. He had one last night. I know he had 3 against. He had 2 against Thorndale. I think 1 against Holland. And I mean, he's really stepped up in the secondary position. And Trey Castillo, he's been doing well. Jose Valverde, our safety, he's been doing well.
Yeah.
And Wyatt Rockner, he's back down safety sometimes, and he's doing pretty good. And Caleb Tucker, he's been doing pretty good. And I think our secondary is pretty good. And I know when they had to step up, they knew they had to step up, and our coaches knew that they had to bring it on them for a couple times.
It showed your first 2 games, mostly with the great coach, as you're starting to learn his system. And y'all had a couple of losses, and then boom, it said, all right, we're tired of that crap. And y'all went on a 2-game winning streak, looking for win number 3 in this game versus Milano as y'all's second district game, right?
Yes, sir.
Talk to me. You don't have to give me your game plan, but just give me an idea of how y'all prepare for a team in district, and what's maybe some steps you take. Do you watch film? You stay up late watching film? What are you doing?
Well, every week is like we're hungry for every week. We practice from 6:15 to like when school starts, and then we go come here after school and practice as well. So I mean, like we're practicing every day, and we're just fighting every day. And then like I said, our coaches, they push us to our best ability, and
y'all got great coaches. Y'all got a great program, and it's just like it's kind of when I interviewed, and Cameron right now is kind of going through a little drought, but they got so many athletes, and I'm like, it's something in the water. It's the same way with Granger. It's like it's something in the water. Like it don't matter who's next up. The next man up is a freshman getting 4 interceptions. Yeah. That's outrageous, man. That's a ball hawk.
Oh yeah.
And so that's awesome to hear. Give us an idea of the trenches. I know it's dirty and there it gets tough, and I played linebacker, running back, so I don't know. Give us an idea of what it's like in the trenches.
Well, our O-line, we're not really new. We lost one guard, Michael Saluski. He was a pretty good guard that we lost, but we filled his spot with another good guard, Keegan Cotton, and our O-line is pretty much the same as last year. So I mean, we're good on that, and we're experienced, and so we're good on that. And our defense, we have 3 D linemen. We fight it hard. We get out of after it. And last night we had a couple of good pressures, and I think we just know what we had to do and get the work done.
Yeah. Man, it's been really good. You answer these questions perfect, man. You're a dang good interviewer. So I've had a great time doing this so far. So as we're gonna leave out, we always leave out with a little good positive note or something funny or something cool. And it gives me an idea of who you are. So right before you go out to the game and you got your 2 minutes and you're focusing in, who dials you in, who gets you pumped up, who's in the headphones?
You know, really listening to Kodak. Gives me some Kodak, some Suicide Boys. They get my head right.
Yeah.
And, Death Note, they're pretty good guys. So I mean, like, I'm listening to them. I'm getting locked in, and I'm just ready. I always have them headphones in before games, and
Heck yeah.
just take them off, get out there and play.
All right, man. So this is Marcus Martinez. Marcus, is there anything you would like to leave the Granger fans, the Central Texas fans, anything you'd like to tell them before we let you go?
We're here to play. We're here to play. We want to play. We want to play. And we're gonna fight hard every week, every game, and we're gonna have a good season. We're gonna have a long season. So I'm just ready for that.
This is a team I definitely, even with so many seniors graduating last year, this is a team I still have going very far, and a team that is always ready to compete in the state game, I feel. So thank you so much. Guys, thank y'all for tuning in. Marcus Martinez, senior offensive lineman, defensive lineman, senior leader for these Granger Lions. Y'all check them out. This week we're going to do Granger versus Milano and the game of the week. And I have Kim folks in Milano. I got great friends here in Granger, and so I'm going to stay out of the score and everything, but I'm wishing both teams luck. And I appreciate your time, Marcus, for giving me your interview,
Thank
sir.
you.
Guys, like I said, Marcus Martinez is someone that he wants to play ball after, and I think if you're looking for talent with talent mixed with hard work, that's the young man that you should look for. And we look forward to trying to get that young man looked at. And we'll, in this 2A is kind of sometimes some guys get overlooked, man, and this is what this is for, to get these players notified and shine the light on them. Granger will be playing Milano. I chose this game because I'm very familiar with Milano, as I got cousins from Milano. I have some kids that I was able to coach in youth football that played there, and I personally played with Nicholas Moorhead in Rockdale. And Nick Moorhead started as a sophomore for Rockdale, and I remember, I'm sure everyone who played ball with us remembers when he drove the guy from Lorena out of the back of the end zone. So Nicholas Moorhead was a dang good ball player, and as he leads the Milano Eagles, I want to say his second or third year, Nicholas Moorhead is a really good man to be leading these Milano Eagles. Though they are 1-3 and 0-1 in district, they had a key win with a 40-0 win against Moody. They did have a loss in district, 14-35 against Iola. The Milano Eagles are led by Anthony Valdez, who has 244 passing yards and 2 touchdowns, and 160 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. Milano don't put the ball in the air much, but when they do, they have a 6'6" wide receiver, and I think his last name was Vargas. I didn't write it down, unfortunately. They have a 6'6" wide receiver that averages over 19 yards a catch. They have another guy that's averaging 19 yards a catch. So when they do put the ball in the air, they are dangerous, but they do lean a little bit more on that on the ground game. And that's because they got a running back like Gerald Dykes, who has 316 yards and 5 touchdowns on the season. But last but not least is a young man I know personally, and it's Dylan McGee, the sophomore running back. This dude has only 13 carries for 78 yards, but that's 6 yards a carry. Dylan McGee, the sophomore running back, and one of the reasons I chose this game is because Milano also has a lot of underclassmen and young men coming up, where I think this program, and as Coach Moorhead builds it in 2 years from now, this is a team that's going to be competing with a lot of great athletes, with a lot of hard work, with a lot of great work ethic. Peyton Steinbecker is leading this defense with 20 total tackles, 7 tackles for a loss, 1 sack, 1 hurry. Yeah, is that right? Yeah. And so I'm sorry, I may have made that wrong. I think he has 22 total tackles, but 20 are solo. And so Peyton Steinbecker is a dude that will make that open field tackle. It doesn't need any help. That man is doing it this year. Gabe Sanders has 34 total tackles. He has 20 solos, 2 tackles for a loss. And then another young man I'm familiar with is Ty McGee, who has gotten 15 total tackles. 9 of those are solo, 3 tackles for a loss. And so the Milano Eagles have sophomores and juniors, and this next year they will have. I think for the next few years they have a lot of talent coming up. Some of the guys that are on the roster that I know is Landon Deason. Deason be beastin'. That's my dude. Landon's is a dang good he was defensive end. I'm not sure if he still is, but Deason's a beast. You got Brayton Steinbecker and Shiner Thurman. Shiner Thurman's on that roster, and that's a young man that I personally know has a work ethic like all get out, who has a drive like no other, and he's always fighting for it, and that dude won't stop fighting for it. And so when Shiner gets his chance, oh man, that dude's ready. He stays ready. He stays prepared. So I look forward to Milano's future being bright. I think they can still do some damage this year. And as Nick Moorhead gets to grow his program, we'll see how Milano's doing in these next few years. So that's your game of the week: the Granger Lions versus the Milano Eagles. With this being the 2A, some of the other notable teams in 2A, 2 other teams I would like to talk about are the Thorndale Bulldogs, who are 4-1, coached by John Kovar. They had a key win against Granger, 33-27, and they lost a big loss to Thrall, 29-50. And that was, as I was looking at Thorndale and what they've done so far and what they've accomplished, I was looking at their offense players. They have some really good offense players, but the guy that jumped out to me was Kel Metters, who has 51 total tackles already on the season, 2 tackles for a loss and a sack. So the Thorndale Bulldogs are going to be a team to keep an eye on, as I think they'll make a deep run this year. And last but not least, Rosebud Lott, coached by Brandon Hicks, who's 4-1 on the season. A huge win against Florence, 42-0, and a tough loss against Thrall, 21-38. I think Rosebud Lott's got a really good chance at making a really deep run. Freshman Zaylen Wells, who we do have a highlight of here, has 70 carries, 399 yards, and 5 touchdowns. And you can tell by the speed this young man has, is he can get to the edge and he can go barely getting tripped up before the end zone. And I told Duke Wells, I said, I won't put your voice in there, but man, we gotta listen to some of that excitement. So whenever you listen to these outros, listen to everybody's voice. I keep them in there so you can hear how the stands are and how it's the reactions you're getting in the stands. So that is your 2A notable teams that we wanted to cover this week. We will continue to try to get as much of these Central Texas teams and as many of these players who are having an outstanding season. We're trying to get you noticed, talk about you, and let you get the give you shine the light on you, the light that you deserve, the light that you work for. And so, guys, thank you so much. Please hit that subscribe button. Check out the outro. Check out the intro. We'll be having highlights, top 5 highlights, or top 10 touchdowns next week, as we'll also throw in some highlight videos as well. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Y'all have a blessed evening.
One, two, three, four.
Marcus rolling out. He's in trouble. With the leases. Staying up.
You good, Marcus?